All right, guys, let's get the party started here. So, just looking at the futures, what's been going on in the markets. So this is the S&P 500. So we can see they're starting to tick higher here. So,
All right, guys, let's get the party started here.
it's
So, just
something
looking
to
at the
keep in mind of.
futures,
All right, so what I'm seeing here is this is starting to uptick here. RSI did reset, try to get above 50, it's not really there. So we'll see what happens in the coming days with this. But my big level on ES or S&P 500 futures is a 442 level right here. And we want to see if we can consolidate in between this area before we can really make a push for here. We have to get some momentum behind this move. Otherwise, we can start to see this come down. So there is some news coming out today that Ukraine's application to be a part of the European Union has been accepted. So that is a really big deal here. Okay. So the other part is like if we just zoom into the smaller time frames, we have this gap down, now we have this gap up. So the market is very volatile, right? As you guys can see, this is an inverted head and shoulder pattern happening right here. So I am watching this just to see how this shapes out, right? And just to kind of see where we go from sort of here, right? So this is the neckline right about here. We need to close above this to sort of push higher here. But right now, that close is important to watch at this level so we can get above the 420, right? If we don't, then we're going to possibly make a move down further. Give me a second. Right, so that's all important to watch, just to keep in mind of, and don't take any trades that the setup is not there, right? So right now, the other thing is, so NQ. So tech stocks are starting to move, but same thing, NQ is in sync with the S&P 500. However, this has been killed a lot longer, right? So there's more room to recovery for the NQ than S&P 500. So I would be really careful when it comes down to trying to figure out which way we're gonna go. So just wait for the levels to be really broken, right? So right now, if we just see here a consistent downward channel here, and we're getting like sort of into a falling wedge type action here. We'll see how it breaks out, but I'm more concerned about with the support levels here. So this one here, and also this one right about here, which was the low. So if we can get above this, we should start to see some sort of bounce. Okay, I want to see a bounce from here to possibly here to here, right? At the end of the day, this level remains the most important level. All right, so this is where the whole down move got built from. So pressure from sellers remains in the supply zone at this level. So we'll see if buyers are able to come in. So right now we saw buyers try to defend this zone right here. They weren't able to do that. So if we just zoom into the hourly time frame and just kind of have a look here, so we're starting to see some pressure build up here, right, to start going to the upside. But unfortunately, that pressure faded away quite quickly, actually, when this zone, right? So you see this downward channel. It was, making its progression, as you guys can see here, just bouncing in this range. And the fact that it broke is a really big deal. That it wasn't able to hold this zone. And it's continuing to progress downwards with consistently lower highs. So this is a warning sign that the market, may have a lot more fake outs before they actually have a proper move in, right? So that's very important to kind of keep an eye on right now. The next thing is let's have a look at crude oil futures. Oil's been on a tear, to be very honest, right? But if we just have a look at the oil futures here and we look at the bigger time frames, right? Let me just go into the monthly here, right? So if we just have a look at this, right, the futures are massive move, right? Broke multi-year levels here, right? So this was an important level that it broke, the oil futures, right? So this is an important zone that it was in. It broke it, now it's breaking out again. However, the important level that I'm watching or I'm interested in here is this level right here, 1114. This is the multi-month high since about 2011. And just rolling into a smaller time frame here, just got to realize that consolidation was in this zone. So it's in this range right here. So this is a range where it consolidated from, right? So from a breakout standpoint, which is what I consider myself, like if I want to trade breakouts here, right? Um, this is important to watch, right? If crude oil continues to rise, does that mean energy is going to do well, right? If energy does well, then some of the stocks that could perform with it are, you can go here on Finviz and just check it out and just kind of see, okay, just give me a second here. Okay, so we can see here that okay, oil's rising, heating oil's up, VIX is up right now, right? So if I see crude oil is rising, I can just start to see, okay, what stocks are going to do well? Well, obviously energy, right? So if I go into energy and I just look for stocks, any country, US, short options and shortable, and then I'm going to just do technical real quick here. Simple moving average above 20, above 50, and above the 200, and market cap large. So anything over 10 billion in market cap, and current volume over one. Nothing yet. Okay. Average volume, we're gonna do over 2 million, and we'll see. And so this is how you get your stocks that could possibly move, right? So with energy, so these are
ACU, Acme United, reporting 66 cents, quoting 60 cents, correction.
so this is something important to kind of look at, right? So CVX, DVN, so these are all breaking out here, right? So just have keep an eye on this, right? Just to kind of see what they'll do. So some of the stocks that I'm personally watching based on this is Palo Alto Networks. Okay. Palo Alto, they did break out here, on the daily. So the biggest breakout came from Palo Alto is right here. But if we just keep looking at this stock right now, just the way it's moving right now, it had a nice move, but it's important for me, whenever a stock does break out, I'm more concerned about the retest than the breakout alone, because if it keeps breaking out, that's fine. It's eventually going to revert back to the mean, right? So we'll see what it does here. So for me, these are the important levels here for Palo Alto. If it breaks down out of this 450, it's going to come all the way down here, right? So right now it's breaking out in one linear direction. See, whenever stock goes in one direction, very vertical like that, it's going to come back and test. So the test of 570 is what I'm watching. It can keep going. Crude oil can keep popping here. So this can keep moving as well. The other ones I'm watching is because of threat of cybersecurity attacks with this war on the horizon. That's another big issue right now. So with that, you can expect stocks like Crowdstrike, Net to do well. But right now, what I'm watching here is this. Right, so this level right here, 170 and 149. This is a zone that it held, and surprisingly, if you just zoom out, Crowdstrike isn't really isn't really breaking down that much. Yeah, sure, it had a correction from the top. It's down about 50%, just like most other tech stocks are. So right now it's starting to bounce. Maybe a good time to get long here, especially with a lot of these companies. Like think about it, cybersecurity is going to be a part of the future. So possible that CrowdStrike does really well in these coming months. And as we can see, this trend line is held up here. So what I want to see is a close above 200, which we have right now in the pre-market. I want to see this level hold. And then as long as this level holds right here, we can make a quick push to 217, right? So that's another thing that I'm watching. So the other something I want to keep in mind about is Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a nice pop here. Okay, so Bitcoin is something important to look at here. So it's got a supply zone right about here that it's held. So that's actually pretty good that it's held this level and it's holding above it right now. So right now Bitcoin is starting to make its move to this zone. And if we can close above here, we can get a nice quick bounce to 52, 50 to 5200, 5200, 5300 right about here. So this could be an important zone. So if Bitcoin keeps moving higher here, it could be due to people donating to Ukraine, and Ukraine accepting crypto. So this could be a big level, and Bitcoin can start to rise here. With Bitcoin moving, stocks that I'm watching are like Coin. Coinbase is starting to move here after markets at one. So pre-markets at 196. It's about here, right? So if it can get above, if it can hold a 200 level, it can quickly bounce to 216. So that's an important area here. I'm still not trading this until I see some sort of big move here. 216 is a big level. If it can get above that, that is its like lows, you can say. So if it can get above this and bounce, and we can get a quick move, we need some sort of momentum change here. Right now, the momentum is still down. It's still holding, right? So we'll see what goes on here with coin in the coming days as well, right? And then we also have VIX. Uh, VIX was popping very nicely. So uh, this is important to watch with tensions rising, right? So if we can get above this zone here, it can uh, really be chaotic, right? So last time it went above the 30 level was in September. September we did have a pretty big correction here, so we want to just keep a eye out here just to make sure that if we do get to this zone, you got to be ready to react, right? And it looks like it does want to break out of this area here, this price channel, and if it does, we have some moves that it could possibly make here, right? So you got some nice zones here, the price targets where the VIX could actually touch. And if it does touch those levels, right, we know the S&P or the market will get very volatile. They could trade up or down, up or down in either direction, right? So we'll see what happens with this in the coming weeks and days, and we'll find a workout around it, right? So right now, I'm not trading a lot. I'm not trading a lot of these stocks. A lot of what's going on is a lot of uncertainty. So I don't want to be a part of that uncertainty. So I have my levels set for a lot of the stocks that I am watching. I'm not going to take really big positions here. Just kind of trade small here. So Tesla had a nice move. Still not, you know, still not too fond of Tesla here at this volume. This could really, be a test right here, right? So if Tesla is going to get above this, my level, supply level is still here. If I ever do go long Tesla and I take a really big position, it'll be above this level, the 1000 level, because momentum will have built, right? So we can see the 946 acted as a big default level where Tesla failed from. So we'll just have to continue to keep an eye on, right? So this is a big trend line down. This is where it bounced from, found support, a lot of buyers. So right now, the best thing to do on a lot of these stocks is if you do want to trade it small. Okay, trade it really, really small. Like Tesla, my level right now is if this holds this 850 level right about here and it stays above it, yeah, for sure, we can see end of week, we can see 900, no problem, right? Especially based on what the market does. And we have Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow, so we'll see how this moves, right? Right now, I want to see what Powell's statements are tomorrow. So I'm going to keep it, neutral today just to try to keep it light, don't trade a lot, and just kind of see what happens in the markets.